Aha! Let's do that again, everyone. I think the screen did not switch. That was odd. Alright, I'm gonna start over with my little introduction and we're gonna cut that out. So in case you're not live, this is Matt, ESCunited. And yes, I am your host of the live stream of the Eurovision stream of the week, where we talk about the news that has transpired over the last week and then answer your questions. So once again, sorry about that little hiccup there. Something happened, but I figured it out because I'm awesome like that. Again, I am Matt. I am your host, and we're going to do that throughout this season. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and then on top of that, and hit that notification bell so you'll always be notified as we go through this whole thing. So, thanks again, everyone, for your patience. Sorry about that little hiccup, and here is everyone. Hi, everyone. Who is there? Tashalu ESC is here. Niels Reviews Music. Hello. And Eduardo Anchia. Good to see you, ESC Laura. And people already screaming at me, and not screaming in a good way, not in an way. About Junior Eurovision. I'll get to that in just a second. I'm just kind of establishing the rules here. So I will talk about the news as much as possible. Keep in mind, I'm a little behind because in the United States, it's a holiday week. It's Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving was on Thursday, but it's basically the whole long weekend where you get together with your family and celebrate and just have a good time together, and that is what I did. So I paid less attention to Eurovision just this 1 week. I kind of glazed through the news these past couple of days, so I may be stumbling through this a little bit, but that is what happened. So that is what's going on, and the first thing I want to talk about, if you have questions, by the way, make sure always to do at ESCunited. That's how I know that you were asking me. Super chats, of course, are always the top priority, but just do at ESCunited, and we'll go from there. So before I delve into the actual Eurovision news, we have to talk about Junior Eurovision for just a second, right? I know not everyone is paying attention to it, but I know a lot of you are, and I get a lot of questions and thoughts on it. I made a video a few days ago about, where I listened to all the songs and then ultimately picked my favorites, which was really, really difficult. So we're gonna go through this real quick, and then we'll focus on the grown-up event. But basically, what it is, I never ever really listened to Junior Eurovision, right? But this year I committed to actually pay attention to it as per your request, right? And so I did. And I am blown away. Junior Eurovision is really good. These songs, and I'm not just saying that to be nice, they have a high standard quality-wise, and I am so impressed. I did not expect that I would struggle putting together a top 10, in that sense that I had to leave songs out that I wanted to have in there. So here is my personal impression. As I said, I love it. If you watched my video, you know who my favorites are, but in case you did not, I can tell you who I did put at the top, and this is all pre-rehearsals, right? I only watched some of the rehearsal. I watched the rehearsal clips, but it was definitely my number one was France. I immediately fell in love with that one. It is so cheerful. It just fills you with warmth, and it's just so sweet. The singer is great, and it felt good. It's very dancey. It feels Eurovision-like. It feels childlike and not childish, though. And I just think it's fantastic. But I love the very, very confident Armenia. Fantastic song. I love me a good Balkan song. So FYR Macedonia delivers Kazakhstan. Oh my God. Kazakhstan just joins the contest for the very first time and immediately blows me away. And from what I've been seeing these past couple of days, a lot of people love that. So I watched So there are a bunch of other great songs I love, right? Ukraine is amazing. I love Albania, Poland, so many songs. And there are songs that I had to initially leave out of my top 10, which I almost regret now. Like Wales, for instance. That song just keeps growing and growing on me. It is so good. So As far as the rehearsals are concerned, right? I kind of watched the clips, and I can't say that I am heavily disappointed with any country, but a lot of countries do, and I guess that is fine because Belarus, they have a very nice backdrop, so they'll only have the singer on stage in many cases with a very entertaining visual backdrop, and that's fine. That's fine. I think there's a whole lot of creativity always going on with the acts, but I must say the kids, they sound good for the most part, right? I mean, there are exceptions, right? Ireland, for instance, goes a little bit out with the lights and the dark and that stuff. That looks really cool. France brings on an ice cream cart. I mean, come on, that is pretty cool. And I find that so Eurovision, Junior Eurovision. I love it. So as far as the rehearsals are concerned, I cannot point out, and I need to ask you guys because I only watched one of the rehearsals. I think the second rehearsal clips are out now as well. If one of kind of messed up, but I thought they were all pretty good in the songs that really kind of grew on me just based on the rehearsals. Wales keeps going up and up and up and up. And now I somehow enjoy Ireland, which at my first impression wasn't that good, only because I thought the song was too repetitive. Da 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 da. You know, it just kind of left me not uninspired, but certainly less excited. But that guy is just so much fun. I love his style. I love what it's just fun, and that is what I'm looking for at Junior Eurovision. I may not look for as much sophistication, if that makes any sense. I want the actual children to be children. Do you know what I mean? Yes, you want to have it all set up right and you want it to look good, but you don't want to lose that playfulness. And that is what I am looking for. So these are my impressions, and as far as you're going to ask me who's going to win, I don't know. Junior Eurovision is so unpredictable. I know that somebody asks, Nikolai Muller actually, what are your thoughts on the online voting system in JESC? I think the Eurovision fans become more influenced. Yes, and I honestly have to claim a little bit of ignorance here. I know that there is an online voting. So I think that it's just as like if you live in Poland, you can vote for the other countries, or is it like a combined online voting results? You guys need to tell me because I'm not even sure about that. I don't know if I'm a fan of the online voting thing either, because the results are based on whatever happened pre-contest, right? And I believe personally the results should be based on that night, the performance. And you could have just whatever song in the studio version and then really bring it alive on the stage, but it doesn't matter with the online votes because they're already done. So I'm a little, and it's really, as you pointed out, only for the diehard fans. You know, your average person or kid will not vote online because they'll just watch the show. So I am a little concerned that this could skew the actual overall results. Because if I look at the polls, pre-polls, it appears as, interesting enough, my favorites appear to be the fan favorites, France, Kazakhstan, and one other country that I'm missing here right now, really high up, Poland. Those are like the three that are really high up in the betting odds and the fan polls, right? So they will get a huge boost in votes. So Poland will probably benefit from it. So this is very, very interesting. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm withholding final judgment, but we have to wait and see. So just a couple of questions on the Junior Eurovision, because I didn't want to spend too much time on it, because, you know, this is mostly focused on the actual Eurovision. I will, by the way, before I forget, mark your calendars. I know tomorrow is the show. I will do a post live stream as soon as Junior Eurovision is over. Come back here and we'll talk about the results. How cool is that? Yes, I have to get up extra early because, you know, I live in California. We're 9 hours behind. So I think the show starts at 7 a.m. my local time. I'm like, really, peoples? But hey, that's what you got to do. But come back for that. Gat Uf Nixon asks, hi Matt, thoughts about the Macedonian staging? It's fairly, I mean, I only saw a very short clip of it. It seems fairly simple, and that is good. That is good. This is not a criticism because the song doesn't need a whole lot of shenanigans. She looks great and she sounds great, and that is what I'm counting on. and that is where she's delivering. So I am very confident that this will score with the people. It's just different. Don't know how it works with kids, but I love it. I love it. So that's what my thinking is. And Charlotte Carlson reminded me the online voting opens again during the show. So that is appreciated. So it's closed now, and then they open it again on there. That is fine. So it's just very interesting. I mean, they're playing around there at Eurovision, I guess. What they're probably doing is using Junior Eurovision as a guinea pig for the actual adult version. So if something works at Junior, they may implement that to the actual Eurovision show. That is my guess, at least. So we have to wait and see. So that's what it is. So ESC Laura says you can even vote for your own country. Oh. It's Junior Eurovision, I guess. They want to make sure. Didn't they have it in the past where you always get automatic 12 points from your country? Anyway, something like that. I could be totally off right now. I'm not a Junior Eurovision expert, so forgive me. Somebody's asking me prediction for last place. I don't have it. Junior, to me, is so unpredictable. I'm afraid that the songs that maybe initially are not necessarily, I wouldn't say geared towards kids, but certainly may not have like a kids-friendly sound to it, like Serbia could potentially be left behind. So that would be one guess, but I don't want Serbia to be in last place. If you saw my video, it's in my top 10. I love that song. But I'm just saying, I don't know who votes and how that works. I find it very, very difficult to predict. So, but that's fun, right? So let's wait on that. I am really excited. Be back tomorrow after Junior Eurovision, where we'll have another live stream, because that's how we roll. So, but enough of Junior Eurovision for now. Let's focus on what matters to a lot of you, myself included. Grown-up Eurovision. So we still have months and months to go, and I know a lot of people will focus on the big event after tomorrow, after the Junior Eurovision contest. But let's talk about the news that what happened, and let's go from there. And then you ask your questions on top of it. So let's talk, though. It's kind of in combination with Junior Eurovision, and I've been talking about it a lot. And that is the country called Kazakhstan. As we all know, Kazakhstan joined Junior Eurovision this year for the very first time. Junior Eurovision is a little bit different. Not necessarily the rules per se about what countries can take part, but Kazakhstan technically is not in the European Broadcasting Union. Apparently somebody's saying like a tiny little bit portion of the western part of Kazakhstan is. I cannot confirm that. But basically, technically, they're not in the European Broadcasting area, so they cannot become a full member. They are an associate member, just like Australia. And a lot of other countries, most countries actually. Technically, the United States is an associate member. But so Australia is taking part in the contest, the grown-up version as well. Kazakhstan is not. And a lot of people were saying, well, they should take part, myself included. So apparently during one of the Junior Eurovision press conferences, the question was asked to Jan Ola Sand, who is the executive supervisor of Junior as well as the grown-up version. Most of you probably know who he is. And he was asked about the potential future at Eurovision, right, for Kazakhstan. And we got mixed messages before. And while this is not a clear response, we can at least kind of read a little bit into it. And that is, he was asked why Australia is invited to the contest, but not Kazakhstan. Right? So this is what Jan Ola Sand said, and I will read that to you right now. Well, we should discuss whether we should be able to bring Kazakhstan and our associate member in Kazakhstan to Eurovision Song Contest. But this is a part of a broader discussion that we have at the EBU, so I hope I can get back with more information later. So this may be just a very vague response. I personally don't think this is as vague as you may think. I do a lot of politics stuff, right, in my real life. So I know how to read between the line when it comes to that. This basically means it's not a denial. And I can tell you right now they are considering it. That is, I'm pretty sure about that. Now, when, where, and how, that remains to be seen. Obviously, they are not going to take part in 2019, and don't expect a last-minute invitation like it happened with Australia. Australia is different. Australia obviously has been broadcasting the contest for decades before joining the contest. And there is a closer connection to it, and there's more money involved. So this is a different situation with Kazakhstan. But that being said, I do not count them out in 2020 or beyond. I do believe that Kazakhstan will join the contest at some point. I still believe, and I keep saying that, I sound like a broken record, I do believe that they're getting their feet wet with the Junior Eurovision thing, and they're already delivering, right? A great song. Regardless of the outcome of the results, they send quality music, and it just comes down to, what they're going to do with it and how it ends up. But I do think that they are getting ready to join the contest. And I am all for it. If they're going to deliver like they did Junior, I think we're good. So this is what is going on as far as Kazakhstan is concerned. The EBU is not saying, nope, not going to happen. They are considering it. That means it's going to happen. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there right now. Also, in case you didn't know, the Kazakh Minister of Communications and Director General of Kabar Agency, they have met with the EBU to discuss a future Eurovision participation. So there is active dialogue happening, and that is good. Basically, the Minister of Information and Communication of Kazakhstan joined the head of Kabar Agency in a meeting with the representatives of the EBU. And let's see, the Kazakh officials met with guy named Jean-Philippe de Tender, the head of media at the EBU, and as well as one of the directors of the member relations. So lots of titles, lots of important people, and about the possibilities. So there is a lot going on behind the scenes. So I personally am very, very encouraged by that. I would like to hear from you about Kazakhstan. Post your questions, as said, at ESCunited, super chats, whatever works for you, and what you're thinking, your questions, and Kazakhstan's future in the contest, and if you're for it, against it, or just your general thoughts, I would love to hear that. AVB85 is asking, which new country do you think should enter Eurovision? This is obviously what I'm going to answer, Kazakhstan. I think let's be clear. I would love for some of the the Eurovision countries like Liechtenstein to debut. It's a small country, so maybe not. That happened that soon. But after that, it has to be Kazakhstan, the obvious choice. That would be fantastic. That would be my opinion. Thomas, I'm sorry. Do you think that in the near future, the number of countries will break the number 43? It could. It can't. It will. 43, it will. I'm more concerned about what happens if we break the number of 46. In case you don't know, 46, I believe, is the maximum number of participants, which is then the big five, right? The countries that are automatically qualified, as well as the host country. There you have 6, plus 20 songs in each semi is the max as of right now. So 20 in semi 1, 20 in semi 2, 5 big 5 countries, and 1 host country. 46. What if we break that number at some point? I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but with the way things are going, who knows? If Kazakhstan debuts, and then let's say Slovakia, Bosnia-Herzegovina will return, and Bulgaria, boom, we're there. That simple. So that I'm more curious about what's going to happen. So I do believe we'll break that number 43, which we always seem to get stuck on, which is a good number. The more countries you have, the more non-qualifiers we have, and the more angry countries you get. It's a slippery slope, I guess. Plus, quantity doesn't always necessarily result in quality. So I prefer for just to focus on the countries that are taking part rather than just adding more and more countries. But I want the old countries to return. Luxembourg. I want Luxembourg back. I want Slovakia back. Oh man, so many countries that I would love to see back in Eurovision. But I am getting ahead of myself here. So that is where we're at with Kazakhstan. It could happen. It could happen that they are returning to the contest. Debuting at the contest. 2020, 2021, this is my prediction, rather sooner than later. But for now, let's celebrate the countries that are in the 42 participation countries in Israel. Keep in mind, if you have any questions, make sure you do at ESCunited so I can see them. So let's talk about a little bit about the national selection updates. There haven't been as many right now this week, but nevertheless, there is stuff happening. Let's talk about the big Eurovision country, Sweden, and Melodifestivalen, the popular national final, 4 semis, a second chance round, and a big final. Sweden tends to do really well at Eurovision almost every single year, and should we expect the same thing? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is we will find out very soon the names of the acts. The acts that will take part in Melodifestivalen. As a matter of fact, only a few days to go. Today is the 24th. On November the 27th, the all acts will be announced to the public. They will be made public to us, to everyone. Now keep in mind, we will only know the names of the acts. You will not get anything about the songs. They are hidden somewhere far away from us, and we will not find out what they sound like until actually the rehearsal week. So, doing week one of the first semifinal, I should say. Once the first semifinalists start rehearsing, that's when we get the first 30-second clips of the songs, and maybe the same day, then we'll get the whole song. So it's really they're trying to keep it under wrap as much as possible. So don't expect any music to be out there, unfortunately. And but we at least will have the names. As a matter of fact, there are so many names already floating around that have been allegedly reported, leaked, whatever you want to call it. Some of them that were just added to the list, for instance, is Margaret. In case you don't know who she is, she took part last year in Melodifestivalen, made it through the second chance round to the finals, and made the Polish fans proud. She is from Poland. She's the Polish singer. She tried to represent Poland in 2016, and she was the big favorite, but then it didn't happen in the national final. Now she's going back to Sweden for a second year in a row, if we can believe the rumors. Also returning, that is interesting, is Anna Bergendahl. Anna Bergendahl was the representative of Sweden in 2010. 2010 with This Is My Life, and she so far to this date is the only act not to qualify from the semifinals from Sweden. It's the only time Sweden failed to qualify. And she clearly did not return to Melodifestivalen. Now, 9 years later, she's like, all right, let's do this again. So I think that she waited long enough. Good to have her back. Hopefully she has a good song, and my fingers and toes are crossed. Another name, don't know her, Swedish people know her, Rebecca Carlson, allegedly is going to join the lineup. A Swedish Idol participant. She was the runner-up, second place in 2016, and she is taking part in Melodifestivalen. Also returning, personally, I'm excited about it, is Martin Stenmark. He represented Sweden in 2005 with Las Vegas. Hated that song. I didn't like that song, but he has taken part in Melodifestivalen on multiple occasions ever since. And every time I love his music. His music has changed, and he knows who he is as an artist, and I'm just a big fan of his style. He usually sings in Swedish, which is a big plus, so probably won't win. But the fact that he's back, most likely, I'm thrilled with that. Plus, we need, a wide range of styles, and I like that. Liamu apparently is also is back. He was taking part last year, made it straight to the finals. See if he can do it. I personally did not like that song, but I don't like rap, so immediately kind of lost me. So a lot of big names already, but that's always expected. And some names that we previously mentioned. Victoria, one of my favorites. I love both of her efforts in 2017 and 16. Nano, he won the televote in 2017, but the juries didn't allow him to go. Anton Hagman is back. Jan Henrik Fjallgren, love his style, something very different. Super excited about that. Dolly style, apparently they are returning, as well as John Lundvik. Surprise qualifier and did so well last year in Melodifestivalen. So, and there are a bunch of other names. I'm not going through them all. We'll find out in a few days if all of these rumors were correct. Alice is asking, do you think that the Swedish public would be happy for someone Polish to represent them in Eurovision? I'm sure there will always be people not happy. That's just how it goes. But Sweden itself, they are very open to different cultures. I mean, of all the ones, you're the most liberal country out there, right? So I would be surprised if there would be a major backlash. I just don't see it happening. I'm pretty sure that they will embrace her, because in the end, they're the ones voting her through, right? The voters need to accept Margaret in order for her to win Melodifestivalen. So we have to wait and see. Starhopper is asking, news on Tel Aviv hosts. I'll talk about that in just a second. It's going to be one of the topics about the timeline and all that stuff, so I'll get back to you on that. So this is what we have on Sweden right now, so just wait a few more days. Personally, if you ask my personal opinion, I hope that Sweden will change it up. Yes, the current recipe is working. I mean, they'll always end up in the top 10. But I'm getting a little tired of these male pop music stuff, that just seems to be a repetitive thing. I want them to send something either in Swedish or something just a little bit more out there. It doesn't even have to be Swedish, even though I would love it. Maybe send some Schlager or send something a little bit less predictable. That's what I'm saying. Yes. Why fix something that's not broken, you can say, but I haven't been a fan of the Swedish songs lately. Even though they did well, it's just not my kind of music, right? And if I don't like one song, it's more likely that I don't like the others either. So it's just not, I can't go on, dance, dance, dance you off. It's not for me. So, next up, I wanted to briefly talk about is Serbia. Serbia Biovicia is returning. 76 applications were received of songs. And they have changed a little bit as far as the song selection are concerned, because last year we had a little bit of a drama situation going on. RTS, which is a broadcaster, right? They have set up a committee. It's like an internal, in-house kind of thing, and they will listen and judge all the applicants submitted and judge them accordingly. They have been, though, assigned a specific code. There is no name, there's nothing, it's just probably a number. That would be my guess, but it's just a code. They want to hide, not reveal the identity of the songs, of those involved in the production. Just to kind of don't mess up. And once after the committee has then figured out and shortlisted a group of songs, a final lineup, they will then be announced to the public. Okay, so there's a reason why they're doing that, because last year there was a lot of drama saying that the competition was rigged last year from the get-go in Balkania's favor to go to Eurovision. And they won, and no one was surprised, but a lot of people were unhappy about that. And one of the loudest voices out there was actually, his name is Daniel Pavlovic. He was competed as well last year. He attacked the person called Ivana Peters, the composer of the song Serbia 2016, because that composer then gave him a lower score. And he's alleging that that's because that Balkania would then get more scores to actually go to Eurovision. So it seems to be a little biased. If you ask me, why would they have power anyway? If you are sending a song, you should not have any votes or any whatsoever. That is just crazy to me. So that is very interesting how Serbia switched that up a little. So we have to wait and see how that's going to pan out. But that's what we had with Sweden. And then let's talk about Latvia real quick. On Latvia on Thursday, November 22nd, which was just 2 days ago. We had the second round of the candidates who want to take part in Supernova, and there were 33 acts taking part, right? 33, that's a big number. And we have also some familiar names if you are a Eurovision fan. That includes Marcus Riva, who's been trying to represent Latvia for God knows how many years now. Same goes to Samantha Tina. She's back and she has been so close so many times. Maybe one of them will go this year. And a bunch of other faces that you have heard before. Those two just stand out to me. And good news, we finally get to listen to some of the auditions. Yes, you can watch them on the Supernova website starting this Monday. Monday the 26th, 2 days to go. So we finally get something. I am super thrilled about that. We're finally getting into the Eurovision season slowly but steady. I am excited. I don't know about you. I don't care. I'm excited. Those little things. So in case you don't know, 83 songs were submitted previously to Supernova, but it's down from the prior year. But there's a good reason for that, because they want to get all the troll songs out. You have to actually be able to send a fully orchestrated piece, or close to what it's going to be, not like these silly demos, right? So now they have full recorded entries, and that is why the numbers went down, because a lot of people won't bother sending a song. Plus, I think they're charging now as well on top of it. So they're just trying really to do a good job, because Latvia, as much as I love Supernova, they haven't been doing well these past couple of years. So maybe that'll change, because I do love Supernova. I do love Supernova. Starhopper, you're also asking about tickets. I'll talk about that in just a second as well. I talk about this as well. So if you have any questions about national finals, any national final, whether the ones I mentioned or others, please post at ESCunited or Super Chat, and I will do my best to answer them. Chiara ESC is asking, have you ever heard of Vargas and Lagola? They're a duo consisting of Vincent Pontare and Salem El Fakir, who was robbed at Melfest 2010. I'd love them to take part. The music is amazing. I know both individuals, but I do not know their collaboration. So that is very interesting. I do feel Salem Al Fakir should return. He had a great entry, and yes, he was robbed. I agree with that. Maybe enough time has passed for him to return. He's a very unique artist. So he would definitely be something, as I mentioned earlier, bring something different to the contest, to Melodifestivalen. And I want something different from Melodifestivalen, for crying out loud. So this is good news to me. This is good news. Send some diversity. I know that Kazal won't return because they're disbanding, but that's how it goes. Anton Vala says, hello, I've got some Finland news, as always. Well, share your Finland news. Make sure you do it at ESCunited, and I'll try to read some of that if you want. Stephanie's asking, are there any news on Romania? I mentioned Romania in my last live stream. Actually, in my last live stream, I was sick last week, so I couldn't do one. But the one before, I talked about Romania. That is the most recent update I have. And as far as the voting, that is changing. And that they're going to have an international jury, because the grand final voting last year was a big, hot mess, right? And that needs to be fixed this year. And I think that is what they're working on. That's the most recent update I have. No names, no nothing else. But I feel as they're going in the right directions. Lek M is asking, do you know Cesar Sampson composed a song for one of the contestants from Operación Triunfo to go to Eurovision? Yes, I just read about that earlier this morning. And I think Ruth Lorenzo also, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. So there are a lot of people trying to send in songs. If it were up to me, send Cesar Sampson again. I love him. So, but no, I'm excited. If it's anything like Nobody But You, I would be excited. And getting a little congested here. All right. So I'm just saying there's a whole lot of drama speculating what's going on with UMK, more coming. Well, UMK, there is a lot of drama because apparently there are not even telling us if it's going to be, again, an artist presenting 3 songs, that kind of thing, like they did with Sara Alto this year, or if they're going to invite multiple acts and they're all going to compete like a traditional one. But as it appears, they will not have an open submission in Finland. They will have let's invite acts. So we'll have to wait and see how that is going to pan out. Thomas is saying no Polish update because Polish TV doesn't care about ESC. That's what I'm hearing. And very interesting, Thomas, because I have a lot of friends in Poland, right? A lot of people, part of the Polish press at Eurovision, I talk to them all the time. They are so friendly and they're so excited, and they were really worried. Like, we have to qualify every single year, because if we don't qualify, not just for selfish reasons, but then the Polish public and the broadcasters will turn on Eurovision in a heartbeat. Because they're just going to say, we can never win. We have the best song and we don't qualify, blah, blah, blah. Apparently there's a lot of negativity surrounding the contest. So that is unfortunate. So hopefully they'll come up with something. Yes, it didn't work this year, but they had a good run for 4 years in a row. They qualified, right? So hopefully that'll continue, and don't give up just yet. Alex Kumar is saying, which country are you looking forward the most? The country's songs I'm looking forward to the most are the ones that haven't done well lately. That includes Iceland and Malta. The little country, or like the countries that have really struggled. FYR Macedonia, duh. I want the countries that have had a bad run at Eurovision lately to really, really come forward and just gobsmack all of us. I just want to see that happening. So, and somebody else is asking, ESC fan forever, which 3 countries you want to see ESC that haven't won yet? Or want to see win ESC that haven't won yet? Well, here's the thing. I badly want to go to Malta, so I want Malta to win badly, but I want, has never won. I want to go to the ex-Yugoslavian country, so Croatia. I want to go to Croatia. So I'm rooting for Croatia as well. Let me think. Who else hasn't won yet? I'm going to say Iceland. I want to go to Iceland. I always fly over Iceland when I fly from California to Eurovision, but I never stop. So now I have an excuse if they were to win. I know my logic is not always the same as some others, but that is where we're at. So let's talk a few more things. Unless you have any other questions, because we're running out of time as quicker than I thought. Some people are asking about ticket sale, host announcements, what is going on. So let's talk about the upcoming timeline of what's happening, where we're going with Eurovision, and the deadlines and all of that stuff. Just the main stuff from what we know. Now keep in mind, a lot of it is just tentative right now. We don't know because things can change. We have the slogan, right? We have the slogan. And that is something. Now, what we don't have is the actual theme art, what they're going to do with the theme, the whole theme idea. That is supposed to come out next month in December, potentially even, they said November, December, but I doubt it's going to happen this month because we only have, less than a week left. So I think it'll be sometime December we'll get the actual artwork, and that is cool. They also said that sometime next month we should know about the hosts. So who is going to host the contest? Whether it's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4 hosts. I hope we're not going to have 4 hosts. But we should find out next month. That is tentatively what we are being told. So if you were waiting for the hosts, just enjoy this week and start, paying attention every day, because then eventually we'll get the updates. But here is something else that's really, really important, my friends, and those are the tickets. Those who are planning on going to Eurovision and desperately want to go into the arena, it's going to be tough. It's a very, 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 very small arena. We have hardly any seats. It's going to be like 9,000 maybe. We don't know yet. They're probably going to have a lot of standing room, but we're not going to have a whole lot of room for tickets. So it'll be tough getting any tickets. So you need to be online right away. You cannot count on OGE tickets. You cannot count on anything. So they are believing that the first few tickets will go on sale in December. Now keep in mind how it works with Eurovision is that they don't put them on sale, all of them at the same time. They're going through different waves. So they're going to sell the tickets they know they can sell as far as space is concerned. Then they're going to figure out the stage and what kind of backstage stuff they need. And once they figured out, okay, we can add more tickets, that wave will go on sale. So there could be up to 2, 3, potentially 4 waves of ticket sales. But the first one is usually the big one where you get, most likely the most tickets. So be ready in December. We don't know what date yet to get your ticket. As said, you need to have reasonable expectations with that. Give me 1 second. I got to blow my nose. I don't want to do that in front of camera. So much better. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the ticket sales, don't just count it like, oh, in December, I'm going to get tickets. It's going to be tough. I remember buying tickets in Düsseldorf, Germany in 2011. They had like 30, 40,000 seats, right? And those tickets were sold so quickly. I got tickets that year. but it's always tough. So I can only imagine what's going to happen in Israel. So ticket sales supposed to start in December from what we're hearing. Again, all just tentative, take it with a grain of salt, but that is where we're at. So that is where we're at with the tickets, but there's more updates in case you're wondering. There's going to be this is where the time where all the what they're called, the EBU reference groups, they're all gathering a couple of times. One will be actually in late January the 28th to be more specific. First of all, on the 28th of January, we'll have the host insignia handover event, ceremony, whatever you want to call it. It's just like a traditional thing, handing it over from Portugal to Israel. It's just like a gesture, which is cool. It is a cool thing. Come on. And then also that day, though, and that's more important to me, is the semi-final allocation draw. So we will know who will perform in what semi. And not only that, we'll also know whether or not a song's going to be in the first or second half. So they're going to pick it out of these bowls, like performing in the first half of second semifinal 2 is Georgia or whatever. So that is what they're going to do on January the 28th. So it's a little bit of time, but that's what's going to happen. Then also in January, but I think it's going to be closer to the end of the month, we'll get finally the reveal of the stage. So the stage presentation, the look of that. So that is going to happen at that point. And then there will be more information revealed. For instance, the head of delegations, they're going to meet in Tel Aviv for a few days. It's still also tentative, but it's believed to be March 11th. And at that point, all the songs should be submitted, and we should know all the entries of the Eurovision Song Contest around that time. So 12, 13, something like that. We should know all the songs that will take part. So be back for that. Then, of course, the postcard recording will happen throughout the next couple of months, which is then March and April. We don't know anything about that yet as what they're going to be, but that's usually what they're going to do. And then that's basically what's going to happen. This is what's happening over the next few months to come. Of course, by the way, ask your questions now at ESCunited. Of course, there will be all the national selections and all that stuff. I cannot go into that. It would be a 3-hour live stream here. But that is where we're at. Euro Towley saying, great to see you, Matt. Great to see you or read you as well. You should react to fellow German-speaking country Austria. Thoughts on Austria 1976, My Little World. Oh, and I will. I'm trying to do so many of those country videos as I can, but with the holidays coming up, it's been tough. And I do have a full-time job as well, So, but Austria will come. Don't you worry. Yo-Yo is talking about news about Kosovo. The EBU will vote on full membership on Kosovo broadcaster in December 2018, possibly allowing the country to debut in 2019 or in the near future after that. Yo-Yo, I heard about that vote. The EBU is trying to downplay that, but that is what's being said. I heard about that a while ago, but keep in mind, even though they may be voted on, and let's say they even accept Kosovo into Eurovision as a full broadcaster, it's too late for 2019. The deadline to apply has already happened. They would have to make an exception. I don't think that's going to happen. So if Kosovo will be accepted, don't expect them to join the contest until 2020 at least. And we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But it is definitely a possibility. I know Kosovo is always a politically charged kind of topic. I know the majority of people are in favor of it, but you know how it goes. If you read YouTube comments, you know how things go. So, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I always say, bring them on. Bring them on. So, let me see if you have any other questions. Make sure to do at ESCunited. People still talking about Junior Eurovision. Let me just point out real quick that I will do a Junior Eurovision post live stream. So if you watch Junior Eurovision today, then you're out of luck because it's not on today. But tomorrow, if it's on tomorrow at 1600 Central European time, so 4 in the afternoon, which is 7 in the morning for me in California. But I'll do it anyway. So after that, I will be online. So make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that bell to make sure you be notified when I'm live. We'll talk about Junior Eurovision, the results, and I would like to hear from you. You will hear from me, and yada, yada, yada. So we're going to do that. Hopefully that is going to be fun. So this is all the news that I had for the week. And as the Eurovision season picks up, we're going to have more of these sessions. So this is now the open Q&A session. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, please post them now at ESCunited. At ESCunited. That is what you can do. And that is, people are asking if I've voted in the online voting for Junior. No, I have not. I try to not do that because I want to judge the whole thing. So, and then, I don't know, can I vote from the United States? I guess I could use a VPN. But anyway, no, I haven't done that yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But I may do that, but I hate voting. Here's the thing with kids. I'm glad that they're doing that. I feel bad that they're put under a lot of pressure at that age while you're still developing. It can be tough on you, right? So hopefully they're going to make it less stressful for them. So that's always what I'm thinking. Thomas is asking, is there any country around the world you don't want to see participating in ESC? You know, you have to be always very careful to not make it too political when it comes to if there's a country. I mean, honestly, I just wanted the countries to take part that are within the European Broadcasting Union usually. But if they want to add countries and make it a little broader, I'm okay with that. There just have to be reason behind it, like with Australia, Kazakhstan. I can see that. They want to be careful. Countries that I don't want to see take part is those who do not embrace the values of the contest. And that is saying I cannot broadcast a certain country or act for whatever reasons. You know, we had Lebanon unable to take part, or a lot of northern African countries, because they cannot broadcast anything coming from Israel. What China pulled this past year about not broadcasting Albania because they have tattoos, or Ireland because they had a gay-themed kind of song. No, don't take part. I don't care. We're not going to bend over backwards for you just to take part or have you broadcast it. So this is what it comes down to me. If you can embrace the values, do it. Then we're open. But other than that, no. Okay, so more questions. If I don't answer them, post them again. Nai Renkelf is saying, Matt, your post JESC stream starts half an hour after the official live show stream based on my sub box. Here's the thing. I asked on Twitter, if you don't follow me, at Matt ESCunited, I asked everyone to tell me what their TV guide says about when Junior Eurovision ends. And everyone gave me a different time. Some said it ends like 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute show. Some people say it ends 2 hours and 25 minutes. So I just put it at 6:30 at that point because I didn't know what exactly the time is. But if it ends before that, I will be live. I just couldn't figure out, exact what time because every TV guide had a different time. So that's why. But I will be live a few minutes after it happened. The results, that is. So just hang in there. Don't you worry. Okay, so what else do we have? RX Linson is asking, how many countries are using internal selections to choose their song this year? I do not have an account in my head right now, but I would say at least, is it half? I don't even know. Is it like 20? I would have to go for them. Maybe less. Belgium, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Azerbaijan, usually Russia. Maybe it's less than that. I would have to go through them all. Macedonia probably. Although we seem to have a lot of countries returning to national finals this year, like Croatia, which I'm really excited about. So I think we have quite a few of them actually this year. So the more the merrier. I love national finals. So we have to see. Alice is saying, Matt, personally, do you think that Ireland is underrated recently at Eurovision? No. I'm going to be honest. I don't think they've been underrated. This year, they were properly rated. I think, what were the 16th overall is a very good result. And yes, you may not think, well, second is right side of the scoreboard. For Ireland, that's good. The song was good. It deserved qualification. And it qualified from a very tough semi. Previously, I wasn't a fan of the entries. I did not like Nikki Byrne song. It was lackluster. And the fact that I can't even remember what the song was in 2017 says a lot. What was 2017? Jesus. What song did we have in 2017? Oh, I'm dying to try the balloon one. It's not a bad song. It's just not wowie. It's just not wowie. And that's why. I don't think they have been underrated. I think they're underrated. They don't live up to their full expectations, their potential. And that is my concern. But I want Ireland to win because I haven't been to Ireland yet, and I would love to go. That's all I'm saying. Yes, so Israel starts the ESC selection journey in 10 minutes. I will be offline by then, don't worry. I'm just going to do like a few more minutes, and so you won't miss a thing. A couple more questions. Anton Vala is asking, how do you do with national finals like when there's already 5 or more a night? I can multitask. Often I put at least 2 on. Sometimes 3, but it's not always easy. What I usually do, the ones I know that will be available online afterwards, a whole thing, I will watch afterwards. I cannot watch them all at the same time, but I'll watch as many as I can. I have a multi-desk thing going on, but I can only listen to one song at a time for it to make sense. But I want to know at least what's going on, because after each national final, we do a live stream and talk about it. So we have to wait and see, but that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm sure a lot of others will do it in a similar way. ESC Fan Forever is asking, Serbia 2007 or Portugal 2017? I will not answer that question. How dare you ask me that question? How could I pick between these 2 songs? You must know that I love these 2 songs to the moon and back. Oh, man. I can't. I refuse to answer the question. I love them both. I love them both. There you have my answer. I know I'm not picking. It's like picking your favorite child. I'm not going to do that. Let's see if we have any other questions. Are you going to JESC Carlson? No, I'm not. I'm a little late for that. I live in California. Flying to Minsk right now would be a little bit of a stretch. No, I will not go to the Junior Eurovision. But I will try to do, because I always go to Eurovision, obviously. I will try to go to go to the London party as well as the Amsterdam party next year for Eurovision. That's the most I can do. It's a long flight. It's not cheap. So I have to wait and see how that goes. But not Junior Eurovision at this point, no. I do have a full-time job, so I cannot miss any more work. Ben J is asking, I believe Tel Aviv will have some venues on the beach and the city hall where around 100,000 could watch the live event. Yes, Ben, they have, even though the arena is super duper duper small, they have the most amazing setup. And that is why I'm so excited about Israel. I knew when Israel won, well, they're not going to do a half-ass job. They are, and I mean that in a good way, Eurovision nerds, right? I'm a Eurovision nerd. They are proud people. They're proud of their heritage, and they want to display their country in a positive light, which is good. Everyone should do that, right? So they have it all set up, that big park that they're going to put together. They have all these stages throughout the city where you can watch it. So if you want to go to Israel and you can't get a ticket, don't worry. It'll be just as fun, honestly. Sometimes I personally like it better watching it on a big screen. I watch it in the press center with all the other press folks. It's way more fun. I could get tickets, but I choose not to, because you don't have to. I mean, you have to do it once. I get it. If you go to Eurovision for the first time, go get tickets. But once you've been there for a few years, I'd rather watch it on this big screen because you can see it all. That's just me. But yeah, if you're going to Israel or you're considering it but worried that you're not going to get a ticket and that's your make or break, don't. There's so much going on. It's going to be the best Eurovision ever, I have a feeling. I am so stoked. So, let's see other questions. Leah van der Leeuwen, are you going to react to the Yugoslav entries? You mean like the one 1992 and prior? I hope so. Yes, I want to. I have so many other countries to do. And if people want it, I will do it, because there are some amazing entries that they had in the past. And it would be a shame leaving them out at this point. And Thomas is saying that the tickets will be very expensive for Eurovision. That is probably true. I don't know if I think, though, that maybe EBU will have some regulations as much as how you can charge for a ticket. If you get them on the black market, that's a different story, but I never recommend to do that. I would never do that. So anyway, this is it for today. This is it. And thank you for watching. I'll be back. Blah, 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 blah. See, I've been talking for an hour now. My tongue is now kind of stuck between my teeth. I will be back tomorrow. I almost said next week. I will be back tomorrow. If you're watching Junior Eurovision, I will be back after the show. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you know when I'm online and we can talk about the show just for a few minutes. We don't have to do a whole long session, but I know you guys would like to do that. And with the next Mattitude live stream will be next Saturday at 1900 Central European Time. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good whatever. I am so out of here. I need something to drink. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.